Hi friends, my name is Sydney. Welcome back to my channel. This video is mostly for all of my favorite people who have shown interest in my new house journey with Caleb. We are doing a Q&A of all things new house. So hey, what's up? How are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. Back in September, I went on my Instagram stories and left one of the question boxes and asked you guys to leave any questions you had in regards to our new house. Renovation, style, decor, random questions, whatever you are wondering about this whole situation that has been going on for the past year. If you haven't been following this journey of mine, or you're new here and you don't know what I'm talking about, in October 2021, Caleb and I bought our first house. We absolutely love it here. It is definitely a dream, but when we first bought it, it was a nightmare. So over the course of the last year or so, Caleb and I have been renovating it with our own four hands, I guess. I've really loved making those videos. It's kind of like a time capsule for Caleb and I, just to, you know, be able to go back to those videos and remind ourselves of how far we've really come, because the house looks like 100% different everywhere from when we first bought it. And soon, I think those videos are going to start evolving into more like style videos, like style with me videos, or build a custom bookcase with us videos. Things like that, and I'm very excited for that series to continue. Obviously, again, if you haven't been here, we got married this October, so the past 3 months or so have been really just wedding focused, so we haven't really been able to do any renovations this latter quarter of the year or so. So when the new year rolls around, we are getting back on the wagon in full renovation mode, and I'm excited for you guys to see what's to come. But in today's video, again, I will be answering some questions that you guys have. I'm leaving this space pretty wide and blank because I'm going to kind of dub over like extra footage, so I don't have to like walk around and show you guys things as I'm trying to describe them to you. I'll do my best to kind of line it up as much as I can, but if you are in my Patreon, you will also be getting an extra video in this series. Way back when we moved in the middle of August or September, I think, of this year, I filmed an empty house tour, and I just have not gotten around to edit it yet. So if you want to see my empty house tour, I will be uploading it to my Patreon, The Greenhouse. And I'll leave all these links down in the description for my Patreon, as well as for the link to that new house playlist renovation thing. But yeah, very excited to edit that video and have it up exclusively for my little bookworms. But I will still be giving you guys a glimpse into what it looks like, at least a little bit, in these little clips over here. So I went ahead and typed up all of the questions that I got on Instagram and put them in little sections of like types of questions that they were. There were a few like style oriented questions. The first one was, where do you get your decor style or inspiration from? I think Caleb and I have a very similar tastes, thank God. I couldn't imagine being with someone who just like didn't agree with me. Oh, that would be tough to have such conflicting design aesthetics. But me and Caleb both, we love like oriental rugs, we love mid-century modern, we love warm tones with like some like greens and mustards thrown in there. Like, I feel like we are very similar. Thank God. But typically what we will do is look on Pinterest, mid-century modern kitchen, or like mid-century modern living room. Pinterest has been the go-to for our home inspiration, like key source. We made a little like board for like our home and made little rooms within the board, which we continuously go back to kind of reference. Otherwise, we do have a few stores that we like, just really like their aesthetic. It's like West Elm, CB2, Pottery Barn, and like All Modern sometimes has some cool stuff too. It's like a mix of all of those things. That's usually where we find like things that we're really excited about. And since those stores are pretty expensive, we usually try to find lookalikes on like Wayfair or Amazon for just much cheaper, because we are not rolling in cash. This question, I thought it was super fun. It was, what paint colors did you almost pick but didn't? I love this question. The people at the paint counter knew us like way too well for way too long. It was absurd. Like, whether we were just going there to get new swatches to like hang up on the wall or on the cabinets or like whatever, they got to know us pretty well. So our kitchen, for example, we knew we wanted to do either green cabinets, neutral like wood color cabinets, or like a mustard, like a yellow. And I know you're thinking, Sydney, why, like, how could you not do yellow? It's your color. And it is my color, but we ended up deciding on the green we did because it just felt like it was a color that I know that I'll like for a really long time and I won't get tired of it. Plus, there are 2 doors in our kitchen. One of them I still have to paint, but I'm going to paint that one the same color that the other one is painted, and those are my little mustard accents. And they're super cute. It's just enough, it's perfect. Plus my KitchenAid mixer is yellow. So I'm putting in splashes of yellow like in the dish towels and everything to get my yellow fix. And now the walls, the color is called Poetic Light, and I am obsessed with it. It's like a warm, creamy, almost with a hint of mauve style white. And since this house has so many windows, as the light moves from east to west, the walls kind of look like they change color just a little bit. Sometimes they'll look a little bit more warm and brown, and sometimes they'll look a little bit more pink in the afternoon light, and it's perfect. It complements the dark wood floors so well. The only other color that we were deciding between was this or one that was a little bit more beige, and I didn't want beige since we had brown floors, or it was just like a little bit more of like a white. I think it was called like frost white or something, and it was just like a little bit icier. But I really wanted the house to be warm and inviting and cozy. And then the trim color, it was something cloud, like marshmallow cloud or like something like that. I don't remember. Oh no, it's called Tranquil Gray, but it looks like a cloud. It's such a pretty color. The biggest thing that I didn't want was white trim. I just don't like white trim. What we would have loved to have is for the trim around the windows to match the color of the floor. Like we would have loved dark hardwood frames around the windows, but the people before us had already painted coats and coats of paint on the trim, so it would have been impossible to get it all off and preserve the wood. So we had to paint it, which is fine. It looks clean, and now the darkest part is the floor, and it's again a grounding, very, very nice color brown. So it's nice, and all of the colors it matches great. And Poetic Light is pretty much what we were using in every single room until further notice. Like if we want to change colors in rooms upstairs, like in the bedrooms or office or library, we'll do that eventually, but the first round, we're painting everything the same color because I don't know what kind of design choices we might want to change when we're actually doing those rooms upstairs. You know what I mean? So we're just keeping it all uniform. The last style question was, do you have a dream decor or furniture item? So actually my chandelier above my kitchen table, which the kitchen table, by the way, I got on Craigslist a couple years ago for dirt cheap. It's mid-century modern. I love them so much. We do need to reupholster the seats, but the chandelier above the kitchen table was my like really big splurge item because it was my dream. I loved it so much. I saw it and I couldn't get it out of my head. Anything else I saw that I was trying to like get the vibes of it but pay a lot less, it wasn't doing it for me. So my chandelier was my dream item. But also another piece of furniture that I will be splurging a little bit on is whatever reading chair that I decide to get one day for my library. Right now I have some old chairs that have been with me for like ever, and they're doing the job right now, but eventually I want to get this like love seat, like not just a chair. I want to get like a half couch, like a big love seat, very cushioned, just very cozy with a little, ottoman that you could put your feet up on. I don't know exactly what chair, but I do have some ideas, and eventually I will act on them, but right now we gotta save for some other projects first. But that is a future dream idea, is to have just like a really big plush cozy reading chair. Getting into some of my favorite questions are the renovation questions. The question that I got mostly on like any video was like, oh my god, how does Caleb know how to do all of this? Caleb actually does like house renovations. He's a contractor for his job. He has an LLC. He's very official. He's worked with his dad and uncle renovating houses around the area. So he's learned a lot. And a lot of what we did with our house was like he's maybe done it one or two other times, or he has done something similar, so this shouldn't be too different and shouldn't take too much time to, figure out how to do it properly for our house. Because if we didn't do it with our own hands, then it would have cost us so much money that we didn't have. So even though it took a lot longer to do it ourselves, a lot longer, and we're not nearly done, we definitely would not have been able to do what we have done and even probably really buy the house if we hadn't planned to do all of the work ourselves. The next one is favorite reno that you've done so far. Definitely, I think the kitchen. It's so cozy. Every time we're standing in it still, and Caleb's over by the stove and I'm over by like our little coffee bar, and I'll look across the kitchen at him and I'll be like, do you believe that we're standing in this kitchen right now? Because the kitchen that we lived in probably for 4 years years or so. It was a little like galley style kitchen. We had a big island that you guys know, you've seen my old house. There was a big island, so we did have like some prep space, but the kitchen itself was pretty small. Like there really wasn't much room to move around in. And now we're able to like work in the kitchen together and like walk around. And it's really nice. We have like a full room kitchen and it's incredible. So far, I think the kitchen has been my favorite to experience so much every day. Next question is, what is the room with the grandest vision? Definitely the library or our master bathroom, honestly. The library, I plan to have floor to ceiling bookshelves on the wall on the left when you walk in. There's a little nook over on the opposite side of the wall that had like little bookshelves or built-ins in it. We knocked those out because they were old and they really weren't like very pretty, but Caleb is going to build me a little desk in there that I can like edit or write at. It'll just be like a cozy little writing nook that I'm really excited to have. And then I'll probably have some open bookshelves in the corner on the right when you walk in the room, while underneath those open bookshelves, that would be where my reading chair would be. A nice big surface area rug. I already have the light installed that I really, really love. The light fixtures, the light fixtures in this house I really have kind of splurged on, and that's been the one thing that I just couldn't stop. I couldn't say no to the light fixtures. But on top of the surface area rug, I'm gonna have this little square marble table that has been passed down from my nana to my mom to me, and it's just gonna be so dreamy and cozy, and I cannot wait to have that room done. A question that tied into that one is, are you actually going to be getting bookshelves? And the answer is yes. Obviously we just chatted about it, but I hope to no longer have stacks of books in this house. It might be a few more months at least until I get my bookshelves, but we're practicing patience. Caleb and I, again, we work full-time jobs. I can't do the projects that he can. Like I can't do them alone. I can't build bookshelves alone without having to have his guidance. I wish that I could, but alas, I am not Caleb. So eventually, yes, I will be getting bookshelves. What is your favorite room or space? I really love the living room. I spend the most time in the living room just chilling on the couch, obviously sleeping over here in this corner of the couch. But my favorite space is my sleeper porch. It needs a lot of work. It's still the really gross, like fleshy pink color that most of the house was when we moved in. So when it gets warmer out, I'm definitely going to paint that. But we did set down new floors and we put one of our favorite rugs out there. We have my old, like really big couch style papasan chair, which eventually in that space, we plan to build a built-in day bed, like a twin size with like a bunch of pillows and a bunch of blankets. And still now, like just sitting in the papasan chair, it's so cozy. You hear all the sounds of like the trees outside. The park we live in is super quiet, but it also has, you know, all those naturey sounds because it's a park, you know, there's so many trees. And it's just like 180 degrees of windows. It is beautiful. It is so nice to be out there. And that room will be a little bit of a hassle to get done because all of those windows are so old and we need to get all new windows, and windows are not heckin' cheap, okay? I don't know if any of y'all have gotten new windows in your house, but like windows are expensive. So we're definitely gonna be saving up for new windows for the sleeper porch so that we can, you know, insulate it and really keep those French doors open all the time. Oh, that's such a dream. I'm so excited to have that. It's definitely my favorite space. The next question is the upstairs finished or just the downstairs? So most of the downstairs is done. Really all we have to do is put up the baseboard trim. We just have the trim kind of like stacked in random places around the perimeter of the downstairs. Other than that, down here, we actually are pretty done down here, which is really cool. But the upstairs is a different story. We have two rooms that are like habitable, which is the room that Caleb's office and music room will be in is where we're sleeping right now, while our master bedroom is still under construction. We need to do drywall and paint in there and kind of finish out the closet before we can actually put our things in there. But we do have like a bed frame, we have bedside tables, we have light fixtures for like on either side of the master bed with like little pull down little light things. You know, I'm so excited. Hopefully in the next like 6 months for sure we will be in there. That's me being generous. Hopefully it's a few months that we're able to move our bed into the master bedroom, because then Caleb can have his office and then I can move all of our clothes out of the library. And then obviously, not to mention, the master bathroom still needs to be done as well. That will probably take the longest because it's tile work. It is finishing out the vanity that we have bought and need to finish creating. And I guess I should say that our guest bathroom is almost done. The vanity that goes underneath the medicine cabinet still needs to be finished. We bought a vintage like glass style cabinet that is a little bit small, but Caleb added some wood on the back of it, and we're adding little like mid-century like peg legs to the bottom so that it can sit a little higher. That we're repurposing all of this for the vanity. We're putting a sink on top and it'll go right underneath that cabinet. So the guest bathroom obviously is where like we shower and do normal like hygiene things. Aside from like brushing our teeth, we brush our teeth downstairs in the half bath still, which is fine. You know, it is what it is. We're both being very flexible because we know that it's not ideal, but we're just happy to be here, truly. So we are just working with what we got until we can get in a better space, which I'm so grateful that both of us are very understanding about this. We know that we would love to, you know, have it all done, but we also know that we're both very busy people. So the next thing is biggest undertaking with the reno. There's been quite a few. So if you remember way back when, this arch that you're sitting under, it was like this big. We had to re-support the walls in the basement because the past owners just like cut out boxes in the beams, the support beams for the entire house. They just cut out little chunks to put like HVAC or plumbing through, which is a big no-no. That is like really dangerous because the whole house could fall down. So we had to redo a lot of that. And we put in a beam here and we put in a beam over to the kitchen and really made these entryways a lot bigger. So putting in those beams were a big thing. Making those arches, the beautiful rounded arches, which was my dream. Caleb executed it perfectly. Those were no small feat either. It was the first time Caleb has ever done it, and they're stunning. I love them with my whole heart. They make me so happy. But I think the biggest undertaking with the reno was moving the half bathroom downstairs. It used to be in the kitchen. So again, if you remember the old videos, I'll leave the link down below, but it would be really fun for you guys to see the old videos again if you haven't, because it's incredible. But the half bathroom used to be a third of the kitchen. So then we knocked that wall down and moved the half bathroom to the front of the house so that we would have a bigger kitchen, because the space in the front house, it was just like a big entryway that it would have been wasted space. We wouldn't have used it. So we moved that half bathroom here, and that was a big thing. We had to obviously make new walls. We had to move walls. Like, moving walls is not as easy as it sounds. You can't just like move a wall. So that was big. The future biggest undertaking will be the master bathroom, because it's pretty big and we have big dreams for it. So again, that'll be like at least a year before we are even remotely working on it or hope to be done with it. So we'll get there. I guess another biggest undertaking was like our mindsets, honestly. Like, I truly know what patience means now. I think that we both thought that we would have been in the house within like 4 months of buying the house, and we moved in probably like maybe 10 months after buying it, which was a lot longer than what I had expected. But yeah, changing my mindset and learning how to be patient with the whole process and projects was a big undertaking. I definitely had to remind myself and change how I looked at and expected things to go. I definitely know now that when Caleb says, yeah, it'll only take like 3 days, it'll take about a week and a half. Because it never takes just 3 days. Another question is things you'd like to add in the future. Oh, okay, so you already know, like all the bookshelves, the library, the master bath, all of those things we're obviously will be doing, but we also want to put a little dormer in our attic. We want to finish out our attic, and we want to put maybe a little dormer on the front part of the roof to bring some light into the attic. That obviously is like, wow, so many years in the future, but that would be fun. We also have created like our little laundry room in the basement, but on the other side of the little fold-out door, there's like another big space in the basement that we are right now using for storage, and it's where our HVAC and like cooling whatever system is. We would really like to use that space as like a workout area. We want to get like either cork floor or like those little like foam inserts, whatever, and put all of our workout equipment down there. get a little bench press, who knows? That is something that we definitely really want to add, because working out up here on this floor isn't the best because we don't want to ruin it. What is the project you're most excited for? I think I'm most excited for, one, to get our master bedroom done so that we can adequately use our other 2 bedrooms. That is going to be a game changer, I think, because right now I'm not able to really hang out in my library area very much, and it's too cold to be in like the sleeper porch. So I'm predominantly hanging out in the living room, which again is fine, but I am most excited to actually use my library office space. I think it's going to be just so nice to be able to move in a different space and change my environment. It's refreshing. It is so nice, and I'm excited to do that. This might be one of my favorite questions. It's just, what is your best memory during the renovation? The day that we bought the house and Caleb and I came to the house, there was carpet everywhere. We decided that first night we were just going to rip up all the carpet and order some Chinese food. And it's in a vlog. It is, I remember very distinctly. We ripped up all the carpet, and when the Chinese food got here, there was no chopsticks, no nothing in the takeout containers. So Caleb made some chopsticks. These chopsticks, in fact. He made these out of just like scrap wood that we had laying around, and then we shared these chopsticks while we ate Chinese food on our first night here. We didn't spend the night here because it definitely was not habitable yet, but we stayed late eating Chinese food, ripping up carpet, and that is a really, really great memory, and I'll never throw these away. Other than that, just knocking down the walls was so much fun. All the B-roll in those early vlogs of our like demo days and just demolishing all of the walls and opening up spaces to see like the true potential of what we were going to be doing. It was absolutely incredible. It was so much fun. Now we're on to just like just like some random questions. Someone asked, have you guys emotionally recovered from the outside painting incident? No, we have not. Every time I look at that outside part of my house and see that it's not painted white, I still like catch my breath and breathe, because I will never forget how emotionally and physically distraught we were over that situation. If you don't know the story, it was before we even bought the house. We had put our offer in and we just scheduled another showing. We just wanted to come see it. We could choose between 7 a.m. or 1 p.m. and Caleb's dad is our realtor, and he said that 7 a.m. worked better for him. So we got here at 7 a.m. and when we got here, there was a group of men on ladders painting the brick on the outside of the house white. And I almost threw up. Caleb was losing it. Obviously, Caleb and his dad like ran up. They're like, what are you doing? Like, this is like, who told you to paint this house? And they're like, I don't know, we were hired to paint this house. And they were like, I guarantee you weren't. And then like his dad was like, pointed over at us. He's like, they are trying to buy this house. Oh no, actually we had bought it. They accepted our offer. Yep, they had accepted our offer, because I remember the thing being, we bought the house as is, which means like they couldn't change anything. They couldn't take anything. They couldn't change whatever it was. So that was a big thing. We were like, no, they just bought the house as is. Like, I guarantee they didn't hire you to paint this house. And I promise you that the previous owners didn't pay you to paint this house. And it was a whole thing. And the paint they were using was brick sealer. It wasn't just any paint. It took a while to get it off. We didn't have to do it. Obviously, the previous owners had to put the house back to as is in order for our deal to go through, which was really nice. Gotta love a binding contract. But no, that whole situation, it was terrible. And there was 3 or 4 days where they didn't know if they were going to be able to get that paint off. And half the reason that we love the house so much is because it's brick. But we almost had a white brick house and we were losing it. 4 days later, they finally did something different and got the paint off, and it was a big thing. It's still, I think I have PTSD from that situation, again, because whenever I walk over and see that side of the house, I'm just transported. Plus, the guys spilled some paint in our driveway, so now the concrete on our driveway has like the white paint on it, so I am always reminded of the situation, because they got it off the brick, but they didn't go and get it off our driveway. So constant reminders. There's a money question in here that's like, how much did certain rooms cost, or like if you're comfortable, talk about like how much you actually spent. I don't really want to talk about how much we spent on things, but in regards to like how much we saved, we probably saved upwards of, honestly, I don't know what Caleb would say, but I would say close to 100 grand of all the work that we've done ourselves, because that's plumbing, electric, drywall, beam installation. We put in 2 beams ourselves. Like, this house has been no small feat. I don't think that I've ever really been able to explain like how much work we've we've actually done. So yeah, it's definitely $100, if not more, $1,000 that we've saved. And then Jesse asked, is there room for us? Of course there is, y'all, of course. And complimentary, Daryan said, where's my room? Daryan, since you want to use our bathroom so bad, you can just sleep in there. I'll give you some pillows and blankets for the tub. Another question is, what are some of Juno's favorite spots? Juno loves a windowsill. Her absolute favorite spot is the window at the base of our stairs. She will always be sitting in that little alcove behind the curtain. She loves it there so much. Otherwise, she does love the couch. She likes where both of the pets, Avi and Juno, both love this little corner of the couch because it's right next to all these big windows. They can glance up and look out, and they love it. In one of the kitchen doors, there's that little like tunnel alcove that Caleb cut out. We call it her portal. She loves her portal and going down to the basement. That's where we keep her cat box, and she has her own little like oasis down there away from Avi if she needs a break. Otherwise, she just loves any pile of laundry. Any item of clothing that isn't put away or is on the floor, on a chair, anywhere, she's on it. She's on that pile of laundry. We also are forced to keep at least one box in the corner over by our vinyls because she likes to sit in boxes. Obviously, we know cats love this, but Juno can confirm, loves it. Another super fun question is, are there any good floors to slide in your socks? Another question I remember getting, but I didn't write down for whatever reason, was did the previous owners leave anything behind? Like, did you find anything during your renovation? And there were definitely a few things, like this yellow cup was left, so now that's where I keep the chopsticks that Caleb made. There were these few little figurines I remember finding. It was like, there was a bee, like a little like glass or plastic, I don't remember, bee. They're somewhere. We didn't throw them away, but I don't know where they are at the moment. I remember finding a little key. It's like, I remember in the vlog, I was making a Starless Sea joke because I remember I found like a bee and a key, and I was like, now I just need a sword, like what is happening? Or something along those lines. Other than that, we just found little like shopping notes or little calendars from like 1960s. Oh, and we also found an old photograph that we plan on framing and hanging somewhere. I would have sworn that picture was in the cabinet on top of the fridge, but it wasn't. I just went and looked. It's somewhere around here, but it's literally, it's so pretty. It's like a beach photo of like a woman and a child. Like their backs are to the camera. It looks like it could have been in like Time magazine, and it's like an original Polaroid. It's so pretty. So we're definitely going to be framing that. And the last question is, do you love it? Yeah, we absolutely love it. Again, we still have a lot to do, but it's so nice coming home. You know, it's kind of crazy to own a house. And I was 25 and Caleb was 30 when we bought the house. And I think that nowadays it's kind of unheard of to be homeowners, especially like as young as we are. It's crazy, and we're very thankful and we're very fortunate. We both worked really hard to save up the money, and it is definitely not without saying thank you to all of you for supporting me here on YouTube and Patreon. I truly could cry about all of it. I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful. But this video is for definitely my favorite people who made it this far. I appreciate you so much. I know that these house videos aren't bookish. I know that they might not be what you subscribe to me for, but it's a huge part of me and like what's been going on in my life. So if you are interested in that and here for not just the book recs or the vlogs, but also for, you know, things that are important to me, this has been it. This has been the big, huge project, so to say. But yeah, thank you for showing interest in supporting these different videos, because it means a lot. I've loved making them, again, for like the time capsule thing for Caleb and I, but also it's just been so fun. But that is all that I have for you today on the main channel. Again, if you want to see the empty house tour, check out the link to my Patreon down in the description. It's kind of cool to see what it looks like with nothing in it. And then I plan on doing an updated furnished house tour as well, somewhat soon, which also will probably be a greenhouse exclusive. But thank you so much for being here and hanging out with me for a little bit. If you're still watching, then leave the chopsticks emoji down below in the comments. And while you're down there, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I always appreciate your support. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. Bye.